Okay. How many of you, I would like to ask the ladies or the women first. How many of you have your husbands here on board? Let me see by hand. If you have your husband on board, let me see by hand. How many of you have your husbands in the bus? Okay, good. I will ask you a question. Will you like your husband to marry another woman? Yes. Thank you. Okay, someone say yes. Someone say no.
My wife has
Okay, why is it that you will not allow your husband to marry another one? Why?
Because I'm not going to share myself with anyone else.
Everybody
so why would he?
no, you use the mic. Yeah.
I'm not going to share myself with anyone else, so why should he? That's something called equal rights.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So, okay, so we want to ask the couples who are in the bus, will you marry another woman? Will you marry another woman? Yeah. Someone said I should give him a time to think about it.
I'll marry another woman only if she's Ethiopian.
He wants to go see the women.
Yeah. Okay, my brother, will you? No.
You think so? To marry another wife. We can hear you.
Will you? Okay, come forward.
I can, so you can hear me loud and clearly, because y'all got to be all quiet on the mic. So, I would definitely marry another woman, but she has to be of a certain caliber, equal or exceeding the woman that I have currently.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let me also ask all the women or all the ladies in the bus.
Notice mine didn't get up.
He wouldn't let him on the chair.
Okay, let me ask all the ladies or all the women first. Will you like to marry another man?
Yes.
Yes, someone say yes, someone say no. Okay. Why?
Because usually men protect their families. And if I had a husband and he had another wife, he would have to provide for that woman similar to the same way he provides for me in a different household.
Right.
So since that woman is in a different household, I don't see why I couldn't have another husband also in a different household. Yes, I do. I agree. I don't see why a woman should be just one man, but a man can have more than one woman. I don't think that's fair. I honestly don't think it's fair.
That's true.
All right? And because they're in different households, this household, you respect this husband, you live by his rules. In the other household, you respect that husband, you live by his rules.
I like that.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
She's so wise.
Okay, for me, I would be willing to have a second husband. And not because my husband isn't good to me, but my husband is a nurturer, a provider. He does everything, the grocery shopping, the yard. He beautifies our home. He has the bulk of the income. One thing that he doesn't do, He doesn't party. He doesn't go out, so I go out a lot. Even after being married 40 years, I go out a lot in group datings with my friends. I also, as you see, being a woman married of 40 years, I asked him, knowing exactly what the answer would be to whether or not he would come to Africa, which was, no, you go on. So he allows me to go on. So my other husband would be...
Get that on the mic.
He will be outgoing. He would love to travel. He would love to dance. He would just be silly and everything, and he would do yoga with me, and we would just be the best buddy. And then I would go home to my nurturing husband. He'd have to live. I'm just telling the truth. Then I go home to my nurturing husband, who has created such a wonderful home and a wonderful daughter for me. And then I'm 99% happy. Don't think I ain't. But that would make me 100% happy. Okay? That's the truth. He doesn't travel.
Don't send that recording home, okay?
No.
You can.
Yes, come over.
He knows that.
Come over. Yeah, I'm just enjoying this conversation. It's always...
I gotta clarify.
Okay.
And we gotta be clear.
Yeah.
It is a responsibility. So you gotta financially, spiritually, emotionally, so I understand that. It's not just about having a bunch of women to do what you will.
No.
So, understanding your responsibility at the same time. And if we're not ready to do that, you gotta keep it simple.
We gotta go
it's a
find
Nation
somebody
building.
else.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Yes, ma'am. It's a
Okay,
Nation
yes,
building.
come forward, brother. Yeah. Yeah. And the question is?
So I'm just saying something.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so I'm just gonna drop it from a different perspective. So I'm gonna drop it from a different perspective. So I go to a university where there's like 7 women. There's 7 women for every 1 male. Now I love it. It's good for me. It's great for me. But you see so many sisters like don't have nobody, and it's really sad to see it. And then you see single mothers don't have nobody. So it also helps the women because unfortunately a lot of women are by themselves. So unless the men that are in a position to take care of multiple women do that, women are gonna be by themselves, and there's not a lot of good men. So the good men get locked up. So the other women end up with bad men. So then you got low-class brothers that's getting women, and it's like, it's unfortunate. So, we kind of got to find a solution for the community. We got to think of it, it's bigger than just, I want 5 girls. Like, it's not really that. It's, I want to build my community, and what's the best way to do that is to make those sacrifices. Because it's really a sacrifice for me. Because like the brother said, I gotta pay for 3 different women. I gotta feed 3 different women. I gotta keep 3 different women happy. I gotta dance with you. I gotta travel with you. I gotta feed you. I gotta do everything. Or you gonna leave me. So
He's applying for the job.
I'll dance and travel with you. I will do that. So yeah, we gotta think from that perspective. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you so much, guys. Okay, this question was for the ladies or the ladies. Now let's ask the guys. Let's ask the guys. Will you now? He won't come anymore. Will you like to marry another wife? Will you like to marry another wife? And that's the question for the guys. I'm asking the guys in the bus, will you like to marry another woman or another wife?
Sometimes one could be more than enough.
Okay, then come and explain. Come and explain.
Okay, Archie, come on down.
You want to face the camera?
Yeah.
First of all, because of the diversity and the demands both on socialization and First of all, because of the demands both for socialization and culture, you have to be diversified also because one person will not provide all that you want ever, period. So when you demand you demand on one to provide all the things that you want, you like blow a circuit in the one you're with that you like, maybe 50%, 75%, etc. So you have to diversify one, what you can give and what you expect for people's limitations. Everybody have different interests, just like you have. Well, let me make a confession. I have multiple personalities. So all of my personalities, I'll tell you, because
Who are you now?
I am the one that's educated enough to tell you the difference between as the persona of an intelligent analyst or an educated person, then there's one who's like to have fun, there's one who is a family guy, there's one who is a spiritual guy, there's one who is also a real card. But the same thing is, you're looking for people who can complement you in every event of your life. Therefore, everybody don't have that capacity because you put a strain on them for where their values are. So you look for something different. Now, whether it be in the lifetime and the culture you're in will determine on whether or not it be safe or accepted.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.
All right.
Did he answer the question?
Yes.
No.
He was just going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you notice that?
Okay. Someone has a question.
All right, so I think I might be the only person on this bus that wants one man and not a wife. But I have a question for you guys who say you would marry someone else. I know that not everyone is going to fulfill your needs, but does that person have to be a spouse? Do you have to have a spouse? For the younger generation, we have friends.
Side pieces.
What'd you say?
Side piece.
Friends with benefits, super friends, side pieces, and we even have platonic friends. So whereas my spouse may not dance, for example, because I'm a dancer. So at one point in time, if you didn't dance, it was a no. It was a no-go. But I'm beyond that now. But if my spouse doesn't dance, then I might have a male friend that I go out and dance with. I don't necessarily think I need to have a husband that takes up the slack for the current husband I have. There's different levels of companionship and relationships that we can have with someone. I would like to reserve that husband title for a special certain someone.
Thank you.
My sister.
Thank you. Okay. This is a full lecture. I'm just enjoying myself. Yeah. Okay.
Let me answer.
You want to ask a question?
I want to ask a question. Okay, I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, in a relationship, we're talking about love.
Yeah.
And what I want to know is, do we have enough, what's love? Got to do it. What do we have enough love that you can spread all around? Because all the love that you have can be used in the home. So I'm wondering, where's all this love coming from that you can spread out here and spread out there and in different places?
Okay.
Hello, anybody want to answer that? Because, wait, let me say one thing, because I think, oh, you can?
Stand up.
My question is, in relationships, we're talking about love.
Yeah.
That glues the relationship together. And I want to know, for the people who want to be in different relationships, where is this love? Where is all of this love going to come from? Because you need all the love that you have in the home. and the family. You need all that love in one home. So where's all this other love coming from? Somebody's gonna miss out. No, we're not talking about that. We talking about special relationships. We talking about special relationships.
Okay.
I'll answer that. I am a person who I have a lot of male friends. I grew up around boys. I'm the youngest of 4 girls. I was the daddy's girl. And he took me everywhere because I was the most athletic, outgoing. As a matter of fact, when we go to picnics and then you get into races and things like that, he said, "Oh, we don't want any girls." And he said, "That's not a girl, that's my boy." You know, and he'd say stuff like that. And as a result of that, I went through all my life having great male friends and female friends, but some of my best friends were males. And so I have a lot of love for a variety of different men already because I befriend men. The same way I might love my girlfriend or my sister or my brother. I have so many big brothers all over the place, but I cannot go, like, for instance, to Brazil with one of my homeboys. You know what I mean? No, I have lots of different relationships with different kinds of people and good friends and men, but I just can't vacation with them. So I think in a marriage, it would be sort of like that person would also have to marry me and my husband and have to understand the role that my husband plays, and my husband would have to accept the role that he plays. And so it's happening already, ladies. Well, come on now, we ain't all that faithful all the time. So it's what it is, you know, and it ain't just them that are stepping out. So for me, it would have to be an open stepping out.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's come over. But the mic cannot get to that place.
No, that's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna let me sit down my door.
I'm trying very hard to get a cordless mic next time so that we'll be able to get down there. Okay. Thank you, sister.
Hold on up there.
I'm one who's open to sharing. I'm one who's open to sharing, and this aspect is more on. We're talking about love here, but marriage is a contract, right? Yeah. So think of business. Think of growing wealth. Think of this partnership that these men have. How many men is in this partnership right now? It's not just 2, so if you look at it from just not a love, love is great. You can get love from a lot of people, but business, money, building wealth, building families, that's what marriage is. That's number 1. So if her wants another woman, I mean, she gonna have to bring some to the table. And if she got some, she got some skills, we can make some more money. If she can make us rich, I'm cool with that.
But I gotta make it clear. But look, at the same time, this is what I gotta say. I've been with this woman 8 years. I'm 30 years old. I haven't been with no other woman. Okay, and she has this attitude. Even this is something she came to her own analysis and understanding. Yeah. And I'm like, how would it work? I'm serious with the understanding. I don't make moves just, I'm not a low-level, lustful type. So if I'm gonna come from it, it's gonna come from a place of understanding and a meeting of the mind. So that means something right there.
That's a husband and wife right there.
And a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, the women that influence them, they always big up the women. So the more women around a man, girl, hey, how do I judge a man? I look at how he treats his mother, his sisters, all the women around him. So that's all I gotta say.
Why you need to run? It's about feelings. It's about feelings. I
don't think I can handle it. I'm going with one of those body parts. I'm good with just one.
Thank you so much for your suggestions. Okay, there's a brother coming. Yes, I would love to hear from you. Thank you, brother.
Greetings, everyone. Can you hear me? Alright. I want to piggyback on what the sister said, because I think we kind of look at it from a skewed standpoint. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit louder, baby.
I just want to put some perspective on what the sister said and just kind of add to what she said. I think we kind of look at it from a skewed perspective, because when I hear a lot about everybody talk, we're kind of taking it from a more sexual connotation in terms of sexual relationships. But in the African tradition, and being that we are from Africa, growing in the West, we're kind of used to the Western standards of living. And if we're going to break that back and take it back to our original state and how we live, this is a part of our society, a part of our culture. Now, my understanding of polygamy from an African perspective is that the man's supposed to be financially able to take care of the family. And the first wife is the wife who selects the other wives, because they're going to be sisters. Now, they will have to come to that understanding to know that they are able to do that and establish the communication, make sure the lines of communication are kept clear, and the boundaries and whatever is established to be established so it could be a successful relationship. Now, like the sister said, from an economic standpoint, this is about nation building. And we see the attack that we have in the West on the black men. And basically they attack the black men so they could get access to the black woman. And once they have access to the black woman, you have access to the children. So you say when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation, because the woman is the first nurturer of our children.
Yeah, right.
So as a strong black man that knows himself and understands himself, you have to be able to nurture that so you can foster that nation building. So if we look at it from that standpoint and not really from the point of what one is going to do for the other, or emotional, or we losing sight of really what the intention or the understanding of nation building is. Now, if you look at the world statistics, there's 21 women to 1 man. So within even America, we see that there's a lot of single mothers, a lot of broken families, and that's because of how the system is set and how we were raised, because you can see that if you don't have a man in the home, then the woman has to do everything. And the man is being raised by a woman, so therefore he doesn't fully understand the role of the man in the house. So within this, because it's like being in slavery, you have to adjust to your situation. So we're in war, basically. So we have to adjust to the situation that's at hand so we can elevate ourselves. Whether it be mentally, physically, spiritually, we have to be able to elevate ourselves to a higher heights. So this talk is a very good talk, because we don't talk about stuff like this. And like I said, we gotta try to open up the lines of communication and put it in perspective to see how we fit in this model. Because a lot of stuff that we get from the West, it doesn't fit the model of African spirituality or African cultural living. So a lot of that cycle, we have to break it. And like I said, it's not for everybody, because it's not something that everybody have to do or is meant for everybody. But you have those men and women that could come together and build on that. Because I have a lot of people that I know that has that type of relationship, and it's a wonderful thing. I'm not talking about sexual, I'm talking about economically. I'm talking about, because you might have one that's a teacher that could sit and teach your children so they could be homeschooled, right? You might have multiple incomes coming in so you could build wealth and leave something generational for our families, because that's what we need to build, generational wealth. And that's what we're lacking in our community and as a nation. So when we think about it, we have to look at it from that angle. And like I said, because we were in the West, we've been westernized to think a certain way. But in reality, when we take our Sankofa pilgrimage and we look back, and we go back and see how we were established as people, it was part of our culture. Now you have in Africa, you have a matriarchal society, you have patriarchal society. So the woman having more than one man is based on the society that you live in, whether it's a matriarchal or a patriarchal society. So it's just a cultural awareness and a cultural solution for us to consider.
Thank you, brother. Thanks so much. Thank you so much.
Drop the mic.
Okay, yeah. Our sister also has something to share with us.
How many wives do you have?
How many wives do I have? Currently, I have one. Currently. Yeah. I'm not working on one, but I'll talk about it, and then we'll get to a certain level that everybody will understand something. Yeah. And then I will ask you a question from there. Yes. Yeah.
That question I like to ask. I like to ask the question first. The question I like to ask, I've heard the word love, but I haven't heard the word jealousy. And I'd like to find out, are we at any state between, is there any difference in how we perceive love and jealousy in having that extra person?
Thank you. I will answer this question through the lecture that I'm going to give. So I would like you to go, and then the answer will come.
I have something to say about that. You want to say it now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I'm going to come from a very personal perspective.
Yeah.
Step one, my son who turned 35 in January, African man from the Congo. And we had so much conflict because he had a Western Eurocentric education. His Africanness had been practically stripped from him to the extent that he said to me one time, "Joanna, you remind me of a white woman." I almost slapped him, you know what, out of him. Literally, because I was raised by Pan-Africanists, and I could not understand what had happened until I was able to humble myself enough to start listening to him more closely to understand how did this happen to him. And basically he explained that when he was growing up, that they handpicked children to go send them to schools, and they were basically indoctrinating them that way. Because if you handpick certain kids and give them the privilege of an education, they kind of own you almost. Because now they're controlling your path to whatever. So by the time he got to the States, he began to acquire his different degrees. He got all the way to his doctorate, which is when I met him. He basically didn't really retain some of his African heritage because he had been in the United States so long by then and learning a Western Eurocentric way of thinking that it was hard for him to deal with me as a soul sister. Okay? So that's one thing. But eventually we did come to a happy medium. We have a beautiful son together, and he's very African now. So he can't even go back to his country right now because he has spoken out against so much that's wrong. Okay? The second husband, also working on his dissertation when I met him, we have a daughter together. Opposite experience. I'm from the west side of Chicago, he's from the south side of Chicago. But we're both living in a Western Eurocentric world. He is trying to advance through the university academy, so we're constantly having a power structure because of that now, right? Because he's trying to survive in a white man's world where there's certain ways that you behave, and white men demote women. That's a reality, right? So if you have to exist in that, then you have to come home and be the strong black man that you're supposed to be. You're constantly kind of operating in two separate worlds, right? So what I want to say to that is that we're all shedding the parts of ourselves that really don't work for us. And that's, to me, that's what part of this trip is. And when I heard you, my sister, say that when you drive along, you see the billboards with honoring, that's how I feel. Because in our home and our traditions, we call them homegoings, right? So we have the little pamphlets explaining, so we want to keep those forever, part of genealogy. Right. So there's some things that I'm seeing here that I'm very encouraged by, because my key objective here is to find out about the schools and education, because I know we're being indoctrinated out of our true selves. And it's very unfortunate, but it's the truth. And so it's going to take us, especially for the children, to help them understand you can be African. You don't have to sacrifice anything again because we're going to protect you. They don't know this. That's why I've been talking to these young men so much, because they get robbed of their manhood. And they need us to say to them, it's okay to be who you are. You do not have to become European. You do not have to become a capitalist. Help them understand that now so that when we leave, they feel our love. That's why I keep telling them, don't walk up to me. I'm out of sale. I am not here to just buy something from you. I'm here to tell you I love you. And you love me. Find that divinity in you. I want you to see it because I see it. I want you to see it in me. I'm your mother. Okay? So I get very passionate about this because I have personal experience. And in raising my own son and my own daughter, I've had to make sure that they are very strong, no matter where they are in the world. My son's in Australia now. They know they're still African. And they know the people around them, even if they don't know it yet, there's supposed to be a light unto them to help them understand it too. So I want to conclude with that because I think sometimes we mix apples and oranges. Even this discussion, we're not realizing the depth of our African lineage, our legacy, our heritage. And so we start talking as though we can put a Western Eurocentric framework on an African-centric marriage. You can't mix apples and oranges. You've got to decide which bridge are you going to walk and what line in the sand will you draw so that when you're in the comfort of your own home, like my parents did, you can talk to your children about Africanness. Being a Pan-African is not just some red, black, and green. Marcus Garvey, it's how you live your life, how you talk to each other. That's love. How you treat each other, that's love. And so because my brother, my sister, and I were raised up in that, we don't have to, I don't care how light-skinned we are, that's whatever. You're not talking crazy to each other about that. You're not trying to get somebody to pass a paper bag test, all this other nonsense that we do in the States about judging each other. We got all these little things we do, and we're not showing love to each other. So while I'm over here, I want to leave here with them knowing that I love them. And I deliberately got a 5-year visa for that reason. To say, this is not my first time coming here, and it won't be my last. And I'm connected with the people here who have schools, who want to have schools, so that I can deliberately, strategically, intentionally get something moved by the time I get back to Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, because I'm originally from Chicago, and there's a lot of African-centeredness there, but we're in the States. We're not connected enough yet. So that we can have a unified front. We come back over here whenever you come. Just say, look, I'm connected to so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm ready to start this. Who's ready? That's what I'm talking to these young men about. Who's ready to be an entrepreneur? They need to own corporations. Not just sell some trinkets. If you take that same thing they're selling for 50 CD, you'll see it appraised for $1 million in the States. So we need to help our brothers and sisters understand that they're not just standing in front of a bus selling clothes and bags and all this. They are of value, and I don't ever want to hear another white person come here and say, you shouldn't go there, it's dangerous. Yeah. They're over here enjoying Lake Victoria, right? So we got to claim ownership of this and in a positive way, in an affirmative way, in a very empowering way, so that they see us and they say, you know what? I know when they go back to the States, they're thinking about me. They're thinking about me, and they're remembering that they had a relationship. And I don't care, what level it was, so that we can leave here. They know we love them, and vice versa. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, my sister. Okay, now, in the olden days, when I talk about olden days, 200, 300 years ago, or 100 years ago, our great-great-grandparents instituted multiple marriage. They institute multiple marriage for men. For a reason. There are reasons for it. As someone said that you have been Americanized. If you hear the reason why they did that, you will appreciate them. And I'm going to tell you everything. Then after that, you ask questions. In the olden days, they institute multiple marriage. One, as a result of a war, women don't fight. It is the men that goes for war. In every area, they need to build a kingdom. And someone can attack you at any given time, take control of you, your wife, your children, and everything, and then you become part of his kingdom. So, if there is a war, for example, and 1,000 soldiers, the men in the village are the soldiers. They go for war, and then 500 of them died. Before you leave, they'll make sure that you are married. You are married before you go to fight that war. So if 500 of them died during the war, their wives, who will marry them? You get a question? So at the end of the war, they assembled the soldiers, including their wives, and in our society, there is nothing like promiscuity. No. So therefore, those who are living, who are married, the soldiers, they will give their colleagues who has fallen, call them fallen heroes, their wives to them to marry them. Keep on the genealogy of your brother. So you have 2 wives. They will give her to you. And you cannot say that I will not make children out of that. No way. If your brother, your blood brother, married and your brother passed on, what happened? They will give your brother's wife to you, the next person, to continue marrying your brother's wife. Make children for your brother, and you continue the genealogy of your brother. And that is a biblical background, yes. But in the olden days also, there were a lot of epidemics. I quite remember, even now in some areas, people consider tuberculosis as a cursed sickness, leprosy as a cursed sickness, and other sicknesses. But right now we know that tuberculosis can be cured, leprosy can be cured. It's a sickness, can be cured. But in the olden days, because they don't have the medicine there, they thought it's a cursed sickness. You have been cursed by someone. So if there's epidemics, normally if there is an epidemic in a village or in a community, it affects children more than adults. If you have 4 children and then this epidemic affects them, all of them died, you have put all your eggs in one basket. You have 1 wife, 4 children, they are all gone forever. You have to start all over. And remember, you need more soldiers to defend your country. Let's go back a little bit to US. Every year, how many soldiers does American train? How many people do they recruit into the army? A large number. I was trying to see the number of people, and it blew my mind that every state have to recruit more than 5,000 soldiers. 5,000 soldiers times 52. Is it 50 states? There you are. Why are they recruiting the soldiers? To defend the country. They need defense. They need security. Everybody needs security. Our great-great-great-grandparents knew this already. So they also knew that we need security. So to get a security, you need a human being. And if you need a human being, then you have to produce human being. To produce human being, then what happened? You need, as a man, you need to get more wives for them to produce for you. What about women? Why can't women marry more husbands or more men? The essence is that and our great-great-grandparents knew this. So they were not allowing women to marry more than one man. If you a woman and you marry more than one man, you have two husbands. All of them are looking for a child, and you get pregnant. Who does that child belong to? It will be difficult for you to know. In those days, there is nothing like DNA. There is absolutely nothing like DNA. What will happen is that those two men will have to fight. It is my child. No, it's not. And this, and they will be fighting. If a man has two wives, when this woman get pregnant, you know that this is my husband who made me pregnant. When this one also get pregnant, you know that this is my husband who made me pregnant. There will be no fights. There will be no fight, no quarrel, no jealousy, nothing. And everybody will be quiet. But if the woman gets two men, there will be a big fight. Serious. Someone can lose his life. We are looking for more human beings. Why do you allow yourself or allow some people to fight to lose their lives? They have this already in their mind. So women were not allowed to marry two men, but men can be has been given the opportunity, or men has the opportunity to marry more women because there will be no fight and no problem. The reason why you need more children apart from protecting for security is that children are your assets. Children are not liability. In Africa, the more wealthy you are, is the more children you have. Not worldly things. You can build a lot of houses, there can be a tsunami and all is gone. There can be an earthquake, all is gone. Even the government, another government can come and seize all those houses from you. You are gone forever. But if you have more children, you educate them, you are worthy. The reason is that in the olden days, there is nothing like insurance. Insurance company, so when you go on retirement, that you're going to get insurance. No. Our children are our insurance. If you have more children, you have more insurance. What happens is that if you have 20 children or whatever, let's start with 20, with 4 wives, all of them, you educate them and they are working. At the end of every month, if each and every one is giving you $100, how many dollars do you have? $200,000. You have $2,000 free, and that is your insurance. So in the olden days, they have insurance package in their mind, and the insurance package should come through your wife, through the children to you. So you need to get more children, and those children are going to give you your insurance in the olden age when you retire. So you have to take good care of your children. That is some of the reasons. Now, when you marry your first wife, most at times in the olden days, even in some areas right now, it's not the man who goes in and look for a second wife, but it is the first wife who goes out there and look for a second wife for the husband. He comes and shares the love with the husband. Why? The woman have to go to farm or work, come, cook, do this. The woman is the administrator of the home. And then after all this, in the night, she has to perform her duties as well. Her night duties. So therefore, she might tell you that I am too tired to perform my night duty. So therefore, what happened? I'll look for someone as a helpmate to help me. You've been with this woman for so many years. The woman knows what you like and what you don't like. She goes out there, look for a lady who has similar character that the husband like. Brings her, introduce this lady to the woman, to the husband, and then the husband says, okay, I agreed. Then there is a other tradition that follows. The man first thing have to do is, after accepting, then he has to compensate the woman, the first wife. So the man compensates the first wife, thanking her for bringing in another wife, and that wife that is coming she's not going to impose something on the man or the woman, but rather she is a submissive person who is going to take instructions from the first wife and then the husband. She is coming in as a helper to the second wife and then the husband. To the first wife and then the husband. So the first wife sat her down. You know what? We have 7 days in a week. So we are going to share the burden. You will do this, you will do this, you will do this. I will do this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. It's the same way you have access to your husband. We have 7 days in a week. I being the senior, I'm going to take 4 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he is my husband. Don't enter his room. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is 3 days. It's for you. I will never enter the room. So the first wife, there is a lay down procedures that she does. Division of labor. She does all these things, and then there is nothing like jealousy. Why? Because it was the first wife who brought her in. Respect is the uttermost thing. She respects the first wife, she respects the husband as well. If there are children, the first wife may have children, the second wife will also have a children, and you will see the first wife taking care of all the kids, or the second wife taking care of the kids. I know of a police officer who is an inspector. He has 3 wives. Currently, 3 wives. I knew the first one. So, in fact, I never knew he has the 3 wives until I visited him, but I knew the first one. And when I visited him, he called all the 3 wives. When I went to his house, there were 2 women at the kitchen cooking, and one of them was bathing the children. I saw a lot of children there. I think about 10 or so in the house. And then he called all the wives. He said, oh, Governor, you know, as for your sister, you know her. I'll call the wife my sister. He said, as for your sister, you know her. She's my first wife. This is my second wife. This is my third wife. It's like, wow. The way I saw them when I went to, just recently, I think about, before I went to South Africa, that was somewhere in October. That was just October. They were all in the house laughing cheerfully, doing things in common. What happened is that if someone is lacking this, the other one who has abandoned of that teaches the second or the third of the first one, oh, you have to do this, oh, you have to do this, oh, you have to do this. So they cover up and no one sees them. At the end of the year, what the man does is he calls all the 3 wives, they all sit down. What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? And everybody brings his budget. Your budget should not exceed the first wife budget. And according to the police inspector, when he told them, all of them went and consulted the first wife. this is what our husband said, what we do. And they all came together. We want this person said, I want this person said, I want this person said, I want this. The first one's budget is a little bit higher than the second. The second one is a little bit higher than the third wife. And all of them, this is what they want. The man provided for them. They live in the house peacefully. Right now, as I'm talking, they live in the man has his own house. He's not in the barracks. He has his own house. In the oldest days also, it is believed that the oldest profession is hunting or farming. Some people also say the oldest profession is prostitution. So I don't know which is which. Whether a prostitution, farming, or hunting. But in the olden days, there was nothing like weeding with machines. At that time, there were no machines. People used cutlass and hoes to weed. And if you say you are worthy, then you should have a large farm. Even now, farm produces so much money. So men marry much women and make sure that they will give birth. We have children, produce children, and all these children goes to the farm to farm. For example, if you have 12 children and everyone is having 1 hectare, you have 12 hectares. At the end of the year, you have much products. You have much products. So men were asked to marry more women. These are some of the reasons why, but the white man put it polygamy. Polygamy. The idea of our great-great-grandparents is not a negative thought. It is a positive thought for the well-being of the family, for the well-being, protection from raid. During the slave trade, if we were to go to the northern part of Ghana, I would even show you a family. The man married 12 wives, have 100 children. There's some books that say 102. 100 children. And those 100 children, during the slave trade, what they did was the children built a wall around their houses, very tall wall, that the slave raiders could not come in and catch anybody, and they protected themselves with a very tall wall. Those walls, they are still there, that you can see. And they protected their father, they protected their mothers and the other siblings, and they were all in there. No slave raider was able to go in. Can you imagine if the man alone and with 1 wife and maybe 2 kids, they would have gone? They couldn't have built even a wall around their houses. Those who have 1 wife and 2 wives and have less children, they were taken away. They were taken away. So these are some of the reasons why our great-great-grandparents institute that multiple marriage. Another one also is, that's the final one before we ask questions. If you are a king or a chief, our tradition, for example, if I have 1 wife, when I become a chief, the stool that I'm going to sit on have to produce a woman for me, so that out of that we will have 2 children. Without the 2 children, it will be difficult for you to continue your genealogy. It will be cut off and passed on to someone else. My children, my nephews should have access to the stool. If not that, you cut off. The reason is that if you are now a chief, you have one wife. They have to give you a stool wife because your wife is not connected to the stool. Your first wife. Unless you marry a first wife that is connected to the stool. And by that time, you'll be old. And you can't say that I will not get married until my uncle died and I'm connected to the stool before I marry a stool wife. No. Right now, my brother, my senior brother, is the chief in our hometown. It's on the central region. So on our way, I'll show you the road that leads to the town. When he passed on, I can be chosen as the head to the chair. At the moment, we are 6 in number, and the Queen Mother have to select one of us to be the next king. If I'm married and have one wife, if I'm selected as the next king, then they have to give me another stool wife or a stool wife. Then I'll be having what? 2 wives. And that is how it goes. Some it's like you pick it yourself, others they impose it on you. You have to accept it. You have no choice. You have to accept it. In the northern part of Ghana, if someone is a chief or is stood as a chief and you are in the community, you are not married, or you've been there, you are just passing the age. You understand what I mean? Maybe you are 28, 30 years, 34, no one is coming for you. Your husband is the chief. The family can arrange with the chief and they will hand you over to the chief for the chief to take care of you. Remember I told you that there is nothing like promiscuity in society. And because there is no promiscuity, someone should take care of that lady. That is why I like what the brother said, that if the women are there, naturally there are more women in the world than men. In Ghana, women are 56% of the population. 56%. Okay, so you can just imagine if 1 is to 1, the rest of them, who will marry them? Then they have to go out there, and promiscuity will be so much, and they can affect the married people with promiscuity. So therefore, some will be added to others, and that is the reason why multiple marriage was instituted. So I will end here and then ask for questions, if there are any questions.
Is the second wife allowed to help decide the third wife?
Is the second wife allowed to help the third wife? Yes. The second wife, your duty, you are coming to help. Okay, you are married, but you have to help. So the first wife will tell you or will give you what is supposed to do in every day. What is supposed to do, and alternatively they change. The first wife will be doing this, the second wife will be doing this, or the third wife will be doing this. Yeah, you will not be, for example, if you are washing the dishes, you will not be washing the dishes forever. No. The following week you do something else. The following week you do something else. And one other thing is that, remember, iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. So if you don't know how to do it, that's one will teach you how to do it. This person will have to teach you how to do it. And then you'll be abreast with everything that goes on, or the administrative sector in the home. Yes. Yes, another question there.
Will you speak to the question of dealing with marriage, homosexuality or lesbianism? Is that a crime against the marriage, or how is it dealt with in the communities? Or can you? Okay, just go ahead. The question is relative to homosexuality and lesbianism. Is that dealt with as a crime against the community? Since we're talking about marriage and how you only talk about male to female relationships.
Thank you, sir. In the olden days, there is nothing like that. In the olden days, there is nothing like lesbianism or gayism or whatsoever. No. This is something that surfaced recently. That's something that surfaced recently. So in the olden days, no. Now, right now we ask ourselves, why is it that things have changed? And then some men are even running away from only one woman. Some men are running away, some women are also running away. Why? When I say running away, some people have chosen not to marry. In recent time, the difference is one, because of the economy, things are getting harder and harder every day. And as a man, you have to take good care of your wife. You have to protect your wife. You have to defend your wife in every area. So if things are getting difficult, then you also have to be very careful. We all know children are expensive. Taking care of children are very, very expensive.
Serious business.
In the olden days, it is the society that takes care of the children. Everybody can help the child when the child is doing something that is not good. They can talk to the child, stop, do this, do that. Yes, in some areas, still it goes on. But if you have 10 children, then you should have 10 businesses that will be able to take care of them. And you cannot control all your 10 businesses. Very, very difficult. Children are expensive. So what do? You have to limit yourself to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, at most 6. 2. Another thing also that is wiping away multiple marriage, pushing away multiple marriage, is, apart from the economy, is religion. The Islamic religion allows a man to marry 4 wives. 4 wives. And take good care of them. If you know that you cannot take good care of them, don't marry them. And that is the law. But if you can take good care of them, you marry 4 wives. My brother, is it not true?
That is correct. It's most from a worldly stance dealing with religion or the faith. Most men do not practice because it is economic. It's not driven by sex or anything the Western ideology does. You might as well just be single if you want to have all the sex. All the sex you want, just be single. But it says to 1, 2, 3, or 4. Abstain from it if you cannot treat them all equally, economically, emotionally, and everything else. So it's not a game like the West portrays it. Most people will not even go towards it because it's all about responsibility. It's about family, it's about nation building. In fact, pretty much, it's the only religion that has a book that restricts plural marriage. The other books do not restrict that, including if you're dealing with, say, like Hebrews, Christianity really doesn't restrict it. It's just there's a couple books and a couple passages in there where it speaks of, but that has to do with fellas included in the book. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get political or get a debate about it. But it is not a game. It's a very serious thing dealing with responsibility.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And as I said, the Islamic religion allows a man to marry 4 wives. Christianity, 1 man, 1 car. 1 man, 1 motor. 1 man, 1 wife. So you have to marry 1 wife. So it's as a result of the economy and then religion. That is why a lot of people have limited themselves to 1 man, 1 wife. But there are others who have girlfriends and other things, you know. Yeah, but for you to be called a man, a worthy person, you need to have more children. Even now, some people do. Some people do. There is nothing like jealousy. Jealousy about who? Jealousy about what? All these things surface just recently. Jealousy also comes in as a result of greediness. Jealousy always runs alongside greediness. But in the olden days, in some homes, there is nothing like greediness, and they share things in common. Thank you so much. And if there is any more questions. Okay, so we will end here, and then I think we'll show some movie, and then we'll continue later. Thank you.